Welcome to Michael Zane Trusty's TrackTalk, where every track has a story. The year was 1985. Country music was alive and thriving, and Michael Zane Trusty was right in the middle of it. At the time, Michael was working as a disc jockey for KYBE and KTAT radio stations, spinning the hits and keeping listeners connected to the sounds they loved. But that wasn't all. He was also reporting for Cashbox magazine, one of the major music industry publications of the day. That role put him in a unique position to hear about new songs before they broke, meet the artist behind them, and form relationships with the people making the music happen. One of those people was a songwriter by the name of Conrad Pierce. Country fans might recognize Conrad as the man who wrote "Back on My Mind," recorded by Ronnie Millsap. At the time, Conrad was working for BGM Records, Bill Green Music, in San Antonio, Texas. Their first contact came when Conrad called Michael to talk about a new single from an artist named Billy Mata. He wanted Michael to play it on the air and chart it for Cashbox. What started as a quick business call turned into a much longer conversation about the music business, songwriting, and the talent they were both seeing out there. By the end of the call, Conrad had extended an invitation. "Mike, you ought to come down to San Antonio, see the BGM complex, meet Bill Green, and check out our recording studios." It didn't take much convincing. A few days later, Michael was making the trip south, ready to connect face-to-face with a new set of friends in the industry. When he arrived, he was greeted by both Conrad and Bill Green, gave him a personal tour of the BGM studio. This was the heart of their operation, the place where songs were born, shaped, and sent out into the world. After some time looking around, Conrad suggested they break for lunch. They were just heading toward the door when Conrad stopped. He looked out the back window and said, "Hold on, Mike. Let me introduce you to a band that just pulled up. Looks like they're having some trouble with their trailer." Out behind the building was a scene you didn't expect to find at a record label. A band on the ground, tools scattered, working on a busted axle. Their trailer sat tilted, clearly in need of repair. "This here is easy money," Conrad said. "And that's their leader, Toby Keith." Toby stood up from under the trailer. His hands were black with grease. And it wasn't just his hands. The grease stretched from his fingertips all the way to his elbows on both arms. He grinned at Michael and said, "I'd shake your hand, but I'm a little greasy right now." Michael laughed. "Well, it'd be nice if you could come have dinner with us, but you might leave a mark on the tablecloth." That got the rest of the band laughing too. But easy money wasn't going anywhere just yet. They still had work to do on that axle, and the band stayed behind, focused on getting their trailer back in shape. So Michael, Conrad, and Bill headed to the Red Barn in San Antonio for lunch without them. Over plates of good Texas cooking, the talk naturally turned back to music. Michael asked Conrad if he thought Easy Money might have a shot at making it big. Conrad shrugged and said, "Well, I doubt they'll make it much further than playing the local scene. Right now, we're really pushing Billy Mata and hoping to get him somewhere." Little did anyone know that the young man with grease up to his elbows would someday be known to the world as one of country music's biggest stars. That lunch was Michael's first meeting with Conrad Pierce, Bill Green, and the man who would one day become Toby Keith. Over the next few years, Michael and Toby's paths crossed a few more times. One meeting happened in San Angelo, Texas, when Toby was still playing with Easy Money. By then, Michael's drummer, Scott Merchant, had left Michael's band, the 3030 Band, to join Toby. Michael went to see them perform, and Toby even invited him to sit in for a few songs that night. But the biggest reunion came years later, in 1994. Toby had landed his record deal and was riding a wave of success. Michael attended the CMA Awards party that year, and there was Toby. The two of them found a quiet spot to sit and catch up. They laughed about the old days, swapped stories, and couldn't help but revisit that first meeting. The busted trailer axle, the greasy arms, and the handshake that never happened. It was one of those full-circle moments you don't forget. A reminder that in the music business, you never know who you're meeting or how far they might go. This has been Michael, Zane, Trusty's Track Talk, where every track has a story. And sometimes that story starts with a trailer breakdown, a lot of grease, and a handshake that had to wait for another day.